Welcome to the last stand for this fucking nonsense, and believe me, it doesn't let up here. This is the X3 version of the no dash, no damage minimalist challenge. Now minimalism entails what it always does. The X you see in the intro stage is all the X you'll ever need. By now, the pains of removing a core mechanic to this series are well known. In X1 it was an upgrade, and the game was tailored towards introducing you to a new style, with equal parts platforming and equal parts action. X2 introduced a heavy focus on speed and a constant adrenaline rush, and it maintained this by not only hardwiring the dash, but also by basing stage design heavily around it. X3 brings things to a head by combining elements of the two, with plenty of moments designed to keep your blood flowing and others to challenge your head and your timing. There are several areas involving intricate platforming that sacrifice speed for challenge, and in equal part, areas where the aim is to fly through as smoothly as you please. In its attempt to bring this notion of polished balance to the series, X3 suffers from some wildly uneven design. There are several stretches of bizarrely empty, boring terrain, punctuated by other stretches that are ridiculously crowded and active beyond anything in the first two games. Hell, the fucking intro stage isn't exactly cakewalk when you consider annoying as shit climbing with Zero, and of all things a hard to predict end boss. On that note, the bosses in this game carry both some of the worst threats and some of the biggest jokes in the series. How this all intertwines with a lack of dashing is thankfully fairly one-sided. The more active areas in the game reach levels of difficulty well beyond anything that cropped up in X2 or 1, and at the same time, the disappointingly empty areas don't really become any more dull than they already are, even with X's obscenely slow gait. While on the subject of difficulty, some bosses in particular become so impractical without the dash that the way you approach the fight isn't just altered, it's entirely transformed. Let's just say that Bulk Catfish is no longer the biggest worry here. The most significant change X3 introduces to this challenge is the fact that there are no longer weapons, ride armors, or otherwise that can help overcome X's shortcomings. No special weapon alters height in any useful way. Breaking rules to allow for certain armors or items would be equally useless in the moments that matter. What this results in is that several new unusual traits and small tricks have to be exploited to pass areas in the game where dashing is expected to be mandatory. And if X2 incorporated the dash to augment its atmosphere and not so much its challenge, X3 certainly goes the opposite direction. There are plenty, and I mean plenty, of areas in X3 where dashing is considered directly in the challenge behind the design. X3 is meant to be a difficult game. It's meant to be a difficult game with dashing readily available. Without it, things reach untold levels of bullshit, including many portions where making it through without the dash was bluntly intended to be impossible. Of course, nothing's impossible if you're idiotic enough to keep cracking at it, so I hope things stay as enjoyable as you very odd people have somehow found them so far. The first stage up is Blast Hornets, which does a good job demonstrating the imbalance I brought up, so see you then.